is it 5 years ago?
It's like 5, 6-ish.
5 or
You
6.
were like one of the first ones. When...
Yeah. So I have a question. You've been always recognized as the paid marketer, right? So
Yeah.
like, your focus is like Facebook ads, how to smash them, how to tap in like different other channels, like how to overseeing the entire business. But the question is that, do you believe that organic and paid is actually connected? Do you think that you need to produce UGC and overall content for your own channels, not only for paid, and how it's connected?
Yeah, no, I definitely think you do. And that's one of the things that I love about UGC stuff, is because anybody can set up any ad.
Yeah.
But
especially these days.
Right?
I mean, right now it's like Facebook is just, like you feed the information and they will...
It'll spend money for you.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want it to.
Yeah.
It'll spend your money if you get any chance. And I think, it's been great because also Charley over at Shopify has made it so that anybody can build a store.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we're seeing is so many D2C founders are struggling. And I was talking to a business partner of mine, and we've got a women's clothing business, and we're going to do mid to upper 8 figures. We were talking about it, how I think it's so easy for any business owner to spin up a Shopify, get some Facebook and some TikTok ads going, and try to make money. And you see so many people struggling. And I think it's because they don't have the brand and business fundamentals down. And, anybody can spin up an ad, but, when I see ads, or I'm in the business, so when my wife sees ads and I watch her see stuff, she'll also click on the account.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, oh, who is this?
Exactly.
And we were looking at, yesterday, we were leaving, we were in Southampton, and we were leaving, and my 7-month-old daughter is now starting to eat like cucumbers and stuff. And we were like, oh, she's a cucumber girl. Let's get her like a cucumber onesie, something she can eat and stuff. So she goes on and tries to find some stuff. And there's all these fun brands. We're all selling basically, I'm looking at them like, oh, that's print on demand, drop ship. Like that's, Zazzle and whatever else. None of the businesses had any organic content.
Yeah.
None of them had anything other than the same recycled 360p ad library video of whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think it's so incredibly important for brands to think about your content, because ads are just organic content that you pay to show to more people.
Yep.
But your Instagram accounts, your TikTok accounts, your Facebook pages even, they're extensions of your webpage now. I mean, it is completely reasonable for a business to exist on just Instagram shops or just TikTok shops. It's in the same way that you'd have Amazon.
Yeah.
And if somebody goes to your business and there's nothing there, then it looks incredibly illegitimate. And then you have to go one step further and just say, well, if it's only product shots, if like clearly you bought one of each color, got a room at the WeWork, and decided to, like, you got your Canon and ran it off, you got an iPhone in the corner of your house. That's not nearly the same as, in this case, if my wife saw another mom with a baby having fun.
Yeah.
And like that baby looks like our little girl.
Yeah.
And that mom looks like her.
Yeah.
Oh, sale would have been done.
Yeah.
It took her 30 minutes and she just got annoyed and then didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
Because it was overwhelmed with so much illegitimacy. So I think one of the beautiful things when it comes to UGC, when it comes to influencer content, and what I also call like found content, people just tagging you, is that when you as a brand share that, it's one, it identifies your social accounts as having more value. And also, for what it's worth, inside the platforms, if your Facebook page or Instagram account is highly engaging, the machine also thinks of you better than somebody, like you and me are both running the same thing. I've got 4 product shots and you got 1,000 influencers. Yeah. You're gonna get the better impression for the lower cost. You're gonna get the better sales all the time. Also, the platforms, TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, are gonna know who's engaging on your content. So based on the type of UGC that you throw out there and how people engage with it, when the ad goes up, well, they're already gonna know, oh, so-and-so clicked on 17 ads that all feature that same exact product. Here's the actual, so they're gonna know who to show the ads to, right? And there's gonna be this like socio-economic, psychographic profile of who the people are. And if you're only trying to make sales, it's kind of like, just like it feels like trying to read a freight train as it's running down the track in front of you, right? You're just stuck at a light. There's no way you're going to know what's on the side of any one of those things. But if you can curate an identity, and then people can see themselves as your customer, they're going to come back and buy from you over and over again. And for every Vuori, there's 19 other businesses that were the exact same everything, but nobody got to see themselves as that buyer, so they never bought.
Yeah.
And Under Outfit, one of the things that we did, that we really focused on, was that you have Skims of the world and all these other folks. 2% of women look like the model at Skims.
Yeah.
We're going to sell the other 98.
Yeah, I see.
Right. And so we would get the UGC stuff, we would get the found content, the tag stuff, the influencers. And when you go to our page, it's like, oh, this is every woman. This is me.
Yeah.
I'm this person. I can get this, I can get that, I can get this. The barrier for somebody that's making that choice, like my wife last night on the road, coming home from dinner, trying to figure out which one of these pickle baby onesies to get. They're all adorable and cute and 100% cotton, so you have no idea what's good or bad. But she made no choice because nobody bothered to get the content in place that allowed you to identify yourself as a customer. And I think so many folks are focused on what's the ad that gets the sale. We talk about attribution platforms and all of that stuff,
That's
right?
Prior to the...
Yeah, just prior to this, we were chatting about it, and it's like, is that ad the best ad, or is that the ad that most heavily correlates to what all the organic content is, what your website looks like? And the brands that focus on the whole picture instead of the salesperson are going to crush. And the last analogy I'll make is like when you're going down the street, and here we're in Manhattan, you go down Bleeckers, like every D2C business in the world's on Bleecker Street, right? If it's just somebody standing on the street corner shouting taglines at you, you're probably not going to buy. But when you can look in the window and you can see like the model and the different outfits and all this stuff, you're like, oh, I want to go into that store. I want to go into that store. You see the people walking around. You see the people that are shopping in there are coming out happy. You find your tribe. You find your people. And it's so much easier to make sales in a consistent way when you find that person. And then what we did, when we were first using Incense, is we would find, I think our biggest one, her name was Amy Davidson, TV star, founder on Incense, movie star, television. And we realized there was a woman that felt like that. We went back to her 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. More and more content, more and more iterations. And all we were doing was diving deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole of getting this customer to buy. And she talked about this pain point and this pain point. And then we would combine all that stuff together. And if you don't have the organic side, you don't really know other than what got lucky enough today. Because my wife could have just said, screw it, I don't care, I'm going to buy this one. But nobody spoke to her in oh, I'm this mom, this is what I want to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that also reminds me the situation that I was like when I was tourist in, I guess, Panama. So we went to Bocas del Toro, whatever, like the island there.
Yeah.
So, and I remember like the time we went there with our friends for some brunch. And a lot of people were on the streets and kind of screaming there, like, our restaurant is the best, like, or the fastest breakfast, or the American breakfast, or the like different types of the things, right? So like this is kind of like the ads. Then like we found that, oh, that was appealing, the fastest. That was cool, right? So we were just like, okay, we're down. So the person almost like literally took our hands and, okay, let's go there. So this is the advertising. This is actually to lead you to a certain action. Though like at the same time, once we came to the place, it wasn't that nice. Speaking about
that restaurant,
speaking about the the restaurant, right? Like, but speaking about the owned content, right? So that's kind of like the own content. We just okay, are we sure that we won't go there? Then like definitely the product is way more important. So that's why like you cannot claim that your ads doesn't work. So first of all, like what's about your shop? What is about your landing page, right? Like do you have the owned channel? So because people are going to be just take a look on that, like from the street, and seeing like, oh, this is the place that we would like to spend a couple of hours of our lives and chatting through and so on. And definitely, in the end of the day, sometimes like maybe it doesn't look like that nice. That's fine. Though like the problem is like the product, and sometimes if the product is kind good, like I'm fine. You know,
Yeah.
that's why it's all about the funnel. It's exactly to the our prior conversation, right? That it's not about the only advertising when you're applying that, oh, this ads doesn't work, like, or UGC ads doesn't work for me. Well, you need to focus on so many different pain points, and that's why own channel is like one of the way, like, because people are seeing the advertising, they going to your own channel, on like Instagram account, and they just double checking how many followers do you have.
Yeah.
Is it
I'm not going to buy from a company that's got 3 posts that have 1 like a piece and 12 followers.
Exactly.
And I know that half of them are bots.
Yeah.
Not going to buy from you.
Yeah, it's so hard, and that's why we found that the most successful brands who are really scaling up with the incense is the ones who also invest in just creating the content. And you can create content for both paid and organic, and you can ask within the same deal creator to produce a couple of more static images.
Sure.
You know? And then you post that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that. Like, you could 100% just take still shots from a video.
Yeah.
And now you have statics.
Yes.
And every ad that you have could easily also run as an organic post.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've had brands where our entire TikTok strategy was just our UGC ads.
Yeah.
And we would just queue them up. And then we like, oh, we got 10 influencers all sending 3 things. Cool. June is done for content on TikTok.
Yeah.
Whatever, it may have worked, it may not, but like, we looked more legitimate than somebody that didn't try.
Yeah.
And we got a couple things went off. Most of them didn't, but whatever.
Where would you start if you're just launching your brand, or you already have a product in place, or everything like product in place, landing page is done, your shop is done, so everything is set up. Though, like, what about like marketing? How to market my product? Where are you going to be started, like organic or paid?
I think I'm going to always start on organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason is this: paid ads cost money, and money is expensive.
Yeah.
Especially when you're starting a business. And what I mean by that is, you have less money early on than you do later on, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So those decisions, if it's 1% of your overall bank account versus 20%, well, that 20% might be $10, but it's way more expensive to you than the $1,000 when it's 1%, right? There's a relative thing. So my point to that is, find how you can make sales. I would love to get a bunch of, and we're talking about our buddy Nick, right? Something that he's talking about, a limited supply, and I've said this myself too, and I don't know where it comes from. I don't know who said it first. There's probably somebody that none of us know. There's some cooking with, whatever. But like, first thing, send out 100 products.
Yeah.
Get all the content you can. Fill up that social feed. And it's not just for the legitimacy, but it's also like, if you can see, oh, this model saying this thing about this pain point got 10,000 views. This person saying this thing got 1 view.
Yeah.
Right? And overwhelmingly what I found, because I'm an analytical dude who sold a lot of like women's products, everything I think is going to work fails miserably.
Yeah.
And everything I think looks terrible crushes.
Yeah.
Like, one of the best ads I ever ran, and this is an ad that spent over $2 million for 310 Nutrition, was shot by the receptionist at the office in the kitchen of just her being like, this is so cute, look at this bottle. We weren't even selling the bottle. Like, the bottle was a freebie. It was the bonus offer on the bundle. But her just in the kitchen with like some Snapchat filter.
Yeah.
Millions. I paid Kris Jenner $100,000 for a post. I don't think I made my money back.
Yeah.
This chick on her lunch break was just like, oh, I did something for fun. And I was like, oh, let's run it. Ran for over 1.5 years, millions of dollars.
Yes.
And I guess my point to all of that is, it's so much easier when you have content that people want to see. Because at the end of the day, ads, or marketing in general, business is about the acquisition of attention, and then the monetization of that attention, and then turning that into future cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you invest some of that future cash flow into the growth of getting more attention.
Yeah.
That's the cycle. The problem is, and I think we were talking before about how so many Shopify owners, it's so easy to start with Shopify, so easy to get a TikTok shop, so easy to get an Amazon store. You look at how many Amazon stores look completely illegitimate, right? Like you can't even search, and they've got like 7 A's in the front of the product names. They show up first or whatever, right? my point to that is that the folks that can get your attention, the folks that can earn it, have a much easier time monetizing it. And I think so many Shopify owners and so many business owners think that monetization is the win. That first transaction is the win. What I look at is, how do I get that first transaction? What that's doing is allowing me to try to get somebody to buy more than once.
Mhm.
How many things can I get? I'm selling this cup. Awesome. We sold 100 of these cups. Cool. What can I do to get somebody that bought a cup to buy from me a second time?
Yeah.
And then I'm looking back at what was the ad that attracted the person that bought this cup and then bought something else. If I can figure out that 3 steps, then I'm just going to spin up a whole bunch of this. And to be fair, I'm thinking of it as an ad because I'm the marketing guy, but it's what's the organic content?
Yeah.
They got 50,000 views and I sold 100 cups that day, and 50 of those people bought something else later on. Like, well, let me just find a bunch more content like that and I'm going to spin it out. Because at the end of the day, organic social is free.
Yeah.
Theoretically. I mean, you still have to pay for stuff. But like, if you can sell for free, then you know what to put your money behind. And you should only invest your money on what you can sell anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I did with Incense, 5-6 years ago was, and I recommend people do for all UGC, whatever they're doing, any influencer stuff is, we would go after so many different kinds of people.
Yeah.
I mentioned there was a woman, the actress, Amy Davidson, redhead. She's been on Law and Order. She's been in movies, whatever. She's a movie star type person. Our second best person was this like 19-year-old female college student. And she just happened to be like, I'm going out on dates. And this is in my life. I'm going out on dates. I want to know who I can trust. I don't, I'm from a small town in Iowa. And now I think she went to like Northwestern, so she's in Chicago. Okay. A lot of creepy dudes out there in the big city. She wants to know. That ad, nobody in the room thought of this angle of like 19-year-old girl trying to go out dating. We're all like, how is a dude going to use this for whatever? That ad crushed. And, we also had 20 ads, 100 ads that failed. But in letting people tell their own story, you can really let folks tell you what the market wants, I guess. And that's my point, is if I can organically let the market tell me what they're responsive to, then it's a lot easier for me to be like, that's what you like? Sure, here's more of it, give me money. It's way more difficult than be like, this is what I think, you're dumb, and then force feed something down your throat. Very rarely does changing consumer behavior or telling the customer what they want actually work.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some of the best things in the world are like that. Like, people didn't want Jimi Hendrix, but he came along and that was that. But there's only so many of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically you used, it's a wrong word, but like still used UGC and influencers to make your market research and understand what is the audience, what is going to be the ideal customer profile, and not even customer profile, but sometimes the ideal person to talk about certain problems.
Yeah. Instead of, and I'm a big fan of Jeremiah and No Commerce. I think they're great people, but I don't want to do like a post-transaction survey is great information to know. Let's say you have a 2% conversion rate and 50% of people fill out that survey. That means you know how 1% of people, why they bought.
Yeah.
I want to know why the 99% didn't buy. What was wrong that 99% or the 98% of people didn't buy? What did I do wrong? And if I run, instead of sending out 1,000, surveys, if I send out 20 pieces of organic content, and I'm like, oh, this hook worked. College woman, single mom, dad with, whatever. Oh, these are the 3 things that worked, because I can bucket them into like kind of ideas, right? You can search, and it's one of the things that attracted us to Incense back then, is we could be like, okay, this worked, and then search by like by the influencer type. You know what I mean? All right, I got something. I'm gonna get 3 more like it.
Yeah.
The other 3 bombed. Okay, just this person is good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get 3 more like it. Oh, they all worked. Okay, this is good. This is going up on the homepage. Like, this is one of the 3 like pillars of why we're selling the product, right? Because when you figure that all out, the organic content that, maybe we paid that college student like $50. That the win that we got on the conversion rate of our landing page was easily worth 7 figures.
Yeah.
Which is the greatest return. Now, mind you, let's get 20 people at $50, $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tremendous investment and return. So if I can figure that out, if I can figure that out organically, then my ads are going to win. It's almost impossible to lose because I'm just going to take what works and then throw money behind it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw some of the margin of profit. So if I made $1,000 profit, I'm going to throw $500 into ads.
Yeah.
If I only got me that 1,000, it's very difficult to fail when you go that route.
Yeah.
And so yeah, organic first,
Okay.
and then amplify it.
Yeah.
And I think organic is honestly one of, if not the most poorly leveraged marketing channels in D2C and SaaS companies currently available.
Because paid, don't get me wrong, but I think sometimes paid, it also could be amplified for lazy people. Not saying like it's easy, not saying that it's like just running the ads and that's it. But paid ads, it's you creating the content. You can hire creative agency. You can find UGC by yourself. You can find UGC on Insights. You can find different type of the content, right? And then you just plug it in and running the ads and seeing like whether it's performing or not. Like, okay, let's feed more information and keep iterating. But the problem is that paid ads, it's only becoming more and more expensive.
Yeah.
It's still the best scalable way how to get there. You cannot avoid that 100%. I mean, we know a couple of brands. Mini Katana.
Yeah. I was about to say
they're like crushing. I mean, the guys that every marketer should be praying for.
Go for Isaac.
Yeah,
he's an international arms dealer selling 8 figures without a single ad.
Exactly. So like genius, right?
Yeah.
Genius brand.
And now he's doing it again with Ken Pie Foods.
Yeah,
brilliant.
But can you repeat the same flow? Are you going to be sure that one more beauty brand is going to be crushing like Mini Katana? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So
odds are no.
Most probably no.
Yeah.
But at the same time, organic is way harder. To build your own roster of affiliates, to build some ambassadorship program. You need to invest a lot of time there. And moreover, you won't see immediate result right away. With ads, here's the result like next day, right?
Yeah.
With organic, sometimes it's guessing. But what I heard that if you ignore organic or you ignore paid, you're not going to be succeed.
Yeah.
Yes, we have exceptions like but the merging of these two channels is the strategy right now.
Yeah, no, and I think it always will be. To your point, paid's going getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Organic is still free until they start charging people for an Instagram account.
Yeah.
Or for a YouTube account.
Which they already started in Europe.
I've seen. The ads-free version, right? But the point of that is like, it is so much easier. And the other thing is that it is so much easier to run ads.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that good organic content will continue to be good.
Yeah.
Like, we've looked at the same memes for a decade, right? The same funny videos have been around for 20 years.
Memes still crushing it also.
Oh yeah,
like
crush.
That's
the best. I mean, I remember having a print-on-demand company 15 years ago, or 12 years ago, when we were early days of scraping Facebook, where it was just blank versions of memes. And that was the shirt. And you could just send it and then, whatever, to shut up and take my money and all that fun stuff. The point of it is, one of the beauties of organic content is that an ad, you spin up 20 ads, throw in your cost cap, it could fatigue tomorrow.
Yeah.
A good video or a good, videos tend to have better life than static images. But like, I mean, I had a YouTube video that was getting 3,000 to 4,000 views a day for 2 years. It was like, here's how to make a $2 million, I launched a $2 million ad. Here's how I did it. And Mini Katana's some of their videos are getting seen forever. But outside of that, it's completely reasonable for your video to be seen by 1,000 people, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 people. And if you have 10, 15 of them, even if each one only gets 100 views a day, but you got 10 of them, I mean, that's reaching people who are interested, And so my point to that is the longevity of a good video can crush almost 90% of that longevity. Well, that video will still be good after most of your ads are dead. And so, if you can figure that out, then paid ads only needs to make up the difference. And then you can run your ads at a loss because you're just investing. If you already made 100, if you need 100 sales to break even in your business, and you get 97 organically. You throw paid ads in, you only get 20 with paid ads. Well, it's still 100. Like it's so far beyond what you need to pay your bills. And so it's like, it's the combination of the two that I think people really don't look at, the free money that is the hard work
Yeah.
of actually being a legitimate business owner and a legitimate marketer and knowing who your customers are.
Yeah.
Because any idiot can throw an ad into a cost cap and try to make it work.
Yeah.
It takes somebody with real knowledge and experience to be able to build out an organic marketing campaign or to be able to use organic marketing to inform paid media. And generally those people win over and over and over again.
Yeah, if you want to build an established brand, not one mil biz, but going beyond that, you at certain point you have to invest in own channels, or at the beginning, as you said, because that's by the way our buddy Dakota Sheets is doing with the dog sauce.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh
like,
yeah.
First of all, like all.
Oh yeah. Love the dog sauce.
And like the dogs owners, like check it out, like dogsauce.co, I believe.
Yep.
That is the name.
At dog sauce on Instagram.
So please do check them because the product is so great.
My dogs love it.
Yeah. So Dakota basically shipped a lot of tons of the product, not only to the influencers, but also in the community, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not an influencer myself, right? But still I can influence on something, right?
Sure.
And because he's buddy, we are helping him.
Of course.
But I had a call with him last week, and he shared his strategy. He was saying that when he found his first business, sitting campaigns were the best thing that is happening for his business, even though like then it was the scale with ads. And then he sold his business, right, and bought his great house in Colorado, right, in Denver. But right now he's doing pretty much the same trick. And right now he is testing also what is the approach, what is the idea should be there, and what is the ideal profile for the person to talk about the pain points that dog owners might have.
Yeah. And one of the things I love about what Dakota did is he spent, I think, 2 years with an Instagram account just launching pet memes all day.
Yeah.
And then he has an audience of like 100,000 or something like that. And he's like, oh, by the way, you can buy dog sauce. Yeah. Overnight money.
And give box.
Yeah.
Sick.
Oh, I love it. It has the dog bowl in it.
Dog bowl.
It has the toy.
The way how it's like it's shaped like the all handwritten like notice. You know, it's just like, yes, you need to invest more time here. Yes, it's not for free because you need to send this and ship this product, and especially gift box, you need to create them.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the love that you're buying back, it's something that it's going to be the longest LTV in your life.
Absolutely. and there's a reason why Dakota's going to win again.
Yeah.
And when he's done with this, he's going to win on the next one and win on the next one. And it's not that he's getting lucky.
Yeah.
It's that he's doing the brilliant basics, the business fundamentals to define a market, earn their attention, and then monetize it.
Yeah.
And so many folks just go straight for the kill right away. And they're like, oh, it didn't work for me. Facebook's broken. Yeah. And it's like, well, you don't have any strategy.
And they see the dudes like who were rightfully angry on Meta in the first half of this year, because Meta screwed up us a few times this first 6 months with the all of the problems. But the point is that it's easy to find that because Meta didn't work for the community, for those stars in D2C marketing, then maybe that's the reason why it didn't work for me. Well, it's easy to say than trying to figure out like what you can do without ads. Yeah. Email marketing, SMS marketing, try to own something, that's kind of like, you need to invest in certain things. You cannot do like everything at once. You need to start somewhere and then like continue building step by step, but you cannot rely only on ads. Yeah. And there's going to be times throughout the year when we know ads are going to be tough. Yeah. Late February, your ads will die. Late June to early August, your ads are going to suck. Yeah. Any idiot with a phone can print cash the first week of November. Black Friday, anybody can sell. Yeah. So there are certain times when it's great to lean into paid, but the idea of having an organic strategy, of having a brand, of really focusing in on knowing that customer. And you can do that with memes. And that's one reason I love, using UGC and influencer,
is because they all have a market. So I'm using them to test the market.
It trends.
Yeah.
They're feeling these trends, especially like TikTok, like all these influencers, they're like, they know what music is going to be performing the best in the ads. They know this thing. So they feel the market.
Yeah. And one of the things that I will recommend to folks when you're trying this, one of the things that this is a lesson that I learned maybe 8 years ago, when we were first starting to pay people and do whitelisting and stuff. Everybody we knew that was doing was saying, does this influencer pay off?
Yeah.
Oh, I paid this UGC creator. Did it pay off? I paid them, let's say $500. Did I make 500 sales from their code?
Yes.
And the answer to that, maybe.
Maybe. Exactly.
If you need to break even, if you need to make money on it, that tells me the rest of your business sucks. Because what you did do was you own that content. You have the business intelligence. You can start to put that content with other content. You can learn all of the things that are going to make you so much more money. And that affiliate code or whatever, like if you happen to break even on it, then it was free. That's great. You don't, the money is made everywhere else. Are you seeing the same thing?
Exactly. And moreover, like when I see the churn reasons of Incense, and we have churn.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has churn.
Yeah. But when I see the churn reasons, and then we did like the whole analytics on backend, like the smaller the business you are, the more often you will see the following reasons. So one of the reasons, we tried with the influencers organically. It didn't bring our sales. We invested 10K. We haven't seen the positive ROI. Yes, you probably won't see that positive ROI if you invested just $10,000 into like throwing like these to the influencers.
Yeah, you're just trying to solve the
you
problem.
can find the different ways, and TikTok Shop, this is something that we're going to be chatting a bit later.
Yeah.
But the point is that, to your point, sometimes you don't expect that it's going to be getting you money back right away, especially from organic sales, especially from the affiliates right away. This is a really nuanced way how to find the like that actually works. And secondly, we try to use UGC content that have been produced by Incense creators. By the way, it's not Incense creators, it's creators that you can find on Incense. Incense is software, it's a marketplace, vetted network.
Yeah.
We're not representing them. We're not agency, we're not talent agency.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Incense creators doesn't work for us. Like UGC, we tried that in ads, it didn't perform for us. Well, how many piece of the content that you tested? Like, what is the budgets? What is the like landing page? Maybe your product is not yet 100% confirmed. Like, there are so many nuances. To your points that you pay to the influencer, you pay to UGC, you want to waste this money. But to your point, you get the content, you build a creative library that you can repurpose. You also get business intelligence.
Business intelligence.
It doesn't work for me like from that angle. Maybe it's going to be working here and here. I'm not saying that you need to spend a year learning the things and continue spending the money with any platform or like yourself with the influencers, but it's more about that if you're smaller, you have tight budget to test out, but you can always start with something small like Dakota is did. Like just posting.
I mean, he was just ripping memes off the internet.
And then step by step, you get in there. But saying that, we hired 20 influencers, influencer marketing is not for us. It's not the right thing to say. We hired a few creators and they delivered UGC. We tried to launch that in ads. It didn't work. Well, do you have any creatives in your ad account that actually works for you?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of like the question that I always having in my mind when I see like these churn reasons. And then we're seeing that primarily it's coming from potential less experienced marketers or just beginners, which is fine because we're all learning things. But at the same time, like I'm just not surprised. It makes me feeling not right. That people are seeing not the actual reason behind these things, and they're assuming like what is the easiest to name. Because
somebody else ran the ad and it worked for them, and it's like okay, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. You know, and I think that's why going back to our point earlier, like figuring out the organic. Get the sales. Like if you have $1,000, pay 20 people $50 a piece to make you content, and you might not make the $1,000 back, but can you make 200 in sales? Can you make 300 in sales? Can that be enough content for you to post every other day on Instagram, every other day on YouTube, every other day on TikTok? Can you figure out a way to get attention? Can you see what works? Can you replicate that? Can you go back to the 5 people where it worked out and ask them to do it again? Like, can you use that seed money to figure out a way to produce success and then replicate it? And as soon as you figure that out, then you start throwing real money at it.
Yeah.
And I get it, $1,000 is real money. But the point is, like, I think every one of these business investments is something you have to look at as it's not going to be a return today.
Yeah.
You know, and I think when people don't go with, I'll end it like this, because I like to have a very controlled way of looking at things. I want to answer a question. So, for instance, when I was telling that college student that she crushed for us, I hired 20. What I wanted to know was not, does this influencer work? I wanted to know, what woman, 18 to 25, how do I get that customer? So I got 20 women in the 18 to 25 range, and I saw which ones actually moved the needle.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it happened to be this one just crushed outlandishly, but there's also 3 or 4 other women that kind of also worked. And they all, more or less, every one of them was talking about safety and security and the dating world and stuff like that.
And maybe this information make you millions, right?
Yeah,
Just like this simple information that you can continue building your business, like finding the next spot for you to get like to the curve.
Absolutely. Because then it was like, oh, now we can talk to women 18 to 25.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons we wanted to talk to them is because also, like, that is one of the markets that spends the most money.
Yeah.
And it's not just because they're spending it, because other people are spending on it. One of the things we found, so many girls in college had their dads start a profile for them on My Life, just so that the woman could go in and they could see all the dudes, like they could see the sex offenders in the neighborhood around their first apartment. And the daughter could use it to go, like, the teachers and the people they're going out on dates with. And I'm not trying to sell My Life, but the point is,
it's safety.
That was an angle nobody in the room thought about.
Yeah.
Everybody in the room had built 7, 8, 9-figure businesses.
Yes.
But we spent the money specifically to say, we want to get this market. What is the angle? And we had a bunch of people come out and we gave them almost no script. We just said, hey, use the thing. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And 30, 40% of the women came back with the same message. 80% of those women came back half positive. Like 90% of the women that didn't say that thing, we lost money on.
Yeah.
But we made millions on that business intelligence and that research. And so if you can go into influencer marketing saying, I have questions that I want to answer, and I'm going to use influencer marketing to get a lot of data quickly for low cost, and have a platform that will allow me to find, people below this price, this age, this thing, boom, 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 all of them, negotiate, done.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. And anyway, like, if you have that kind of strategy, then you're actually a marketer and a business owner trying to make money, instead of a performance person trying to get a positive ROI today. And there's a very different thing.
Yeah. Because the following question about is going to be how to drive performance with influencers.
Yes.
Because there are many things that is happening on the market. I remember back in the days, influencers were the performance channel, because YouTube channels, here's the link, and it was something new. People were interested to click there. But then something happened in the market that was so many influencers, so many money that been thrown away, like, by all these enterprise companies, like, let's call them L'Oreal's of the world. Right?
Sure.
They paid one influencer who earned, let's say, $100 per post. They started paying like $3,000 because we cannot pay less than that, otherwise it's not going to be approved. So let's pay $3,000. So they throw this money, and then influencers starting thinking that the market cost actually is $3,000, right?
Yeah.
And they're starting charging a lot, and moreover, it wasn't converting that great, right?
Yeah.
And I remember even 5 years ago, it wasn't the best performance channel because it was already disrupted by the whole thing. But good news. Right now it's coming back. We should be thankful to TikTok because of that. The way how they built the platform right now, it's more about your interest rather than like only people that you're following.
Yeah.
So right now, influencers, they can produce a lot of content in a funny way. People are clicking, and all major social platforms, they copy paste TikTok.
Yeah,
Reels,
yeah.
Shorts,
Yeah.
100% copy paste there.
Absolutely.
Like, they even saying that. So
No, they
themselves.
100%. We bought it. We built our own TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is great because this is also shift the entire market, and because of that, right now influencers actually could be considered as the performance channel. The biggest bumper there was like how to convert that to sales.
Yeah.
Right? Because all these links and subscribe, it's one more steps, and as we know that the more steps you have, the less conversions you will get.
Absolutely. Yeah. Difficult funnels. Yeah. Confused buyer doesn't buy. Yeah.
TikTok shop.
There you go.
It's fascinating how TikTok disrupting the whole space again and again.
Yeah.
Because Meta tried shops in 2021.
Yeah. Didn't work.
Didn't work.
No.
So they switched back to something that actually works, which is advertising. So
Yeah.
let's drive ad revenue to your shop.
Yeah.
Finding some niche, not crushing like overall, but makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You can build your own shop on Meta and so on.
Yeah.
So they stepped back. Everyone tried to do their own versions that didn't work in a great way. TikTok Shop, they figure out the formula, which is how to combine influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, and paid social all together.
Yeah.
This is triangle that they're working on.
Mhm.
It's not about influencers. It's not about affiliates. It's not about paid social. It's all about all of that.
Yeah.
So they
And it
figure out.
feels seamless.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing. And secondly, it's a seamless experience because you can purchase the items right
there.
away.
Yeah.
I love it. Let me add to my cart. Let me
Yeah.
get this thing like shipped.
Yeah.
let's say-
Apple Pay. Scan
Exactly.
my face.
Yeah.
Done.
Simple. All right. So what are your thoughts like with the TikTok shop? Have you tested that?
Yeah.
Have you learned anything?
Yeah,
about that?
no, I definitely did a lot of TikTok shop stuff, and I don't think it's a puppy. I don't think a squirrel. No, but it's a dog.
Yeah.
So I've definitely done a lot of stuff on TikTok shops, and I think it's come a long way. And I think what's great is TikTok actually stuck it out long enough for people to be used to it. Because
Yeah.
at first it kind of felt like, why is my TikTok feed starting to look like QVC?
Yeah.
Or like why is it all just paid? But now also the creators, like I get in there, and last night I was on my phone. It was like, I have a baby, so it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. She finally goes to sleep. I open up TikTok, and there's a guy with like the flashlight. It's the daylight flashlight for $7 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just scrolling through. It's like this guy's like, he's just making content that I want to see.
Yeah.
And it just so happens, oh, by the way, the thing in the content I can buy. I came like this close. It's like I don't need a flashlight to do it. So like I didn't. But I mean, even the microphones we're using right here. Like I've seen the ads for these microphones for $5, right? Great. And it's funny. Like I see the content. So I think that TikTok Shops is working great. And I think what's really interesting too is that when people are building for TikTok Shops, they're also making ads in a way that I think advertisers don't generally, right? Like, because they're not selling like a lot of the times it's just the way that they're approaching of, I just want to get people to watch my videos and like them.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, I'm going to make some sales from something. And there's that really just a different approach of let me earn the attention and then maybe I'll make sales. And the way I see a lot of these people selling is they'll get like 10 different, they'll do a whole bunch of different offers, and whatever happens to sell, they'll sell. Great. And then they get contracted to do stuff. But I think the performance side of it is incredible because you're having, what we saw before was this creator mindset, and then people using that creator mindset to say, okay, you're a creator that people like. You're an influencer. Read this script from the ads team.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing it as, oh, you can get attention. People seem to like what you have to say. Can you say some nice things about these microphones or this cup or something?
Yeah.
And there's something that's really, it feels legitimate and natural, and it's not off-putting because everybody knows when they're being sold. And one of the things that I love about TikTok Shops and good influencer content in UGC is that people aren't trying to sell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Simon Sinek's golden circle of start with the why. And it's like, IBM, for those that haven't seen Simon Sinek in his TED Talk, it's like IBM has the fastest this, the most that, and whatever else. Apple's just trying to make your life easy.
Yeah.
And they happen to do it with this, that, and the other thing. And here's a laptop you can get. Right. And that's how they're going to make your life better. And these TikTok shops just like, oh, the guy last night, so he was just like, it's like 7 p.m. I got this thing out here, and I posted something yesterday, and y'all were calling it because it wasn't even dark outside yet. And immediately I'm hooked. Of like, what were they calling? Like,
Right.
okay, I don't even know if he did it. I might have seen the only video. He might have been lying to me, but whatever. His very Georgia, South Carolina accent tells me he was being honest. Whatever. And it's like, all right, I'm going to come back when it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm going to show you how good this flashlight is.
Okay.
Because it blew my mind. And I'm like, all right, I'm in. Then he's
Let's
like,
go.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, it's dark enough outside. You can't even see the flashlight in my hand. Look at it. And then he's like, all right, now look at this. Boom, daylight. And I'm like, $7? Done.
All right.
I'm in.
Right.
But it's like, and he wasn't selling anything.
Yeah.
Like it was 35, 40 seconds into the video before he's like,
just sharing the story.
yeah. And to be fair, I mean, I see the thing on the lower left-hand side. Like clearly I could buy something if I want to. But I'm really excited for that type of content because it's bringing performance marketing back into actual brand development and actual storytelling.
Yep.
And I think there was a period of time pre-2018 when anybody could have a Facebook ad account, rip and just spend money and then make sales.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit, and any idiot could get another Shopify page and get sales. And I think we're coming back to a time when the people that don't have the fundamentals aren't getting the wins. And the folks that leverage content that people want to see to build brands that actually listen to their customers and have good foundational business models, they're going to be great.
Yep.
And it was interesting. I was talking to a guy who does a lot of mergers and acquisitions. And he said, the big investor companies, the VCs, won't touch e-commerce anymore. And it's like there's 1,000 people knocking on the door and they all get turned away. And there's 5 people that'll might get a deal. Well, 2019, 2018, those 5 people were still there. There just wasn't 1,000 other wannabes knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like things are a lot more difficult, but it's only because there's such a higher volume of people that don't know what they're doing, losing in the open.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I think that the TikTok shops is bringing the power back to the storyteller.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, people buy because of their emotion. People don't buy because of the stats on a sheet of paper. That's just not what gets people going. You got to make them feel a certain way. And people buy with their feelings, not with facts. And that's one thing that I think is super interesting about the TikTok shops. And I hope that I hope that it lasts for a while. I have a feeling that there's going to be a few folks that are just get really good in the niche that just start spiking the prices up again. And we're going to get these agencies that rent a mansion in Arizona or Miami, throw 30 creators in for a weekend, and they all get like $1 million to make content, and then it'll be ruined again.
Then, it's going to be that much. Yeah, that could be potentially happen. But it's also interesting what we've been observed with the TikTok shop. We became an official partner back in February. So
congratulations.
Thank you. So, but what actually helped us to diving into the ecosystem, because we have been seeing that so many marketers, early adopters, like let's say Charley, a new wave of Charlies, stepping into our marketplace, right? And they're starting hiring creators for TikTok shop, even though it wasn't the certain campaign that it's named as a TikTok shop, right? They just, we need to find TikTok shop creators on Instance, because it's going to be easier for us to manage them rather than the free affiliate center, which is free.
Yeah.
And we are starting asking TikTok shop team, our clients, what's going on, right? And then what we figured out that where TikTok shop was even 6 months ago, I'm not saying even a year ago, and where it is, it's a different game. So right now you need to also evolve with the game, because back in the days, 10 months ago, it was purely organic game.
Mm-hmm.
You're hiring creators in affiliate center. You don't need the Instance.
Yeah.
You might consider Instance. Why not, right? Because you can find more professional people.
Yeah, there's like a search engine behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But affiliate center does their job, and it still does, and it will. It's a robust solution that it's also stepping up, right? But at the same time, it wasn't the issue to outreach all of these influencers and get the response back. because it was not that many merchants, not that many creators. So the matching system was kind of fine.
Yeah.
And in that case, like the game was pretty easy and purely organic. So you could pay it just in case, it wasn't necessary. So right now it's shifting more towards you need to find the game between, I would say, 40 to 60. 40 is organic and 60 paid, right? And that was surprised me, because a lot of marketers, they're still coming to TikTok Shop right now with the expectations that, oh, it's going to be purely organic. We're not going to pay anything up front. It's going to be 20% affiliate fee coming from our margin, paying 10% to TikTok Shop.
Sure.
Here's the our contribution margin. Let's go, right?
Yeah.
Simple game, but it's not longer the game that you can win.
It's good to know, because that's why it's good to have that inside.
It's not
data.
only organic, because what happened right now with the whole thing. First of all, TikTok Shop is also tweaking the whole system. They're also interested in paid social. This is obvious. That's what you.
I mean, why not do that?
Yeah, that's number one. Secondly, the number of merchants right now and the number of creators who are able to deliver the results are increasing. But at the same time, the affiliate center, it makes you really hard to achieve creators who will be interested in these deals, because you're just going to be using any bots system, any like this hacky software, just to spam like all these influencers.
Yeah.
And like influencers don't want to work with that, because they are receiving 100 new DMs per day.
Wow.
It just they did, the majority of them, it's hey, first name, here's my offer, let's go.
Yeah.
And they have no idea about your brand. They want to go there. They want to research. Do you have reviews? Is it a new? Is it something legit? Is it a drop shipping business? I'm not saying anything bad about drop shippers, but sometimes there is a brand behind of that or not. This is important, because you're dealing with a human being.
Exactly. I think so many people forget that there's human beings in the world.
It's not kind of like, I'm going to be paying you money, like I'm going to throw this money to your face and like you're going to be happy with that. Like, well, I'm not happy with just throwing you the money. I want to be recognized. I want to earn this money, right? Yeah. That's kind of like the feeling that many creators out there they're feeling, and that's why the response rate right now on affiliate center is less than a percent. So this is really hard to get there.
That makes sense.
That's number one thing. But then recently I spoke with one of the most powerful user of Instance is the agency TikTok Shop, one of the top ones in the game, 0 to 1. Just highlighting the guys, love them absolutely. But they shared with me they way how they making a lot of money for their clients and how they grow their clients quickly on TikTok Shop. Is that they're not looking only influencers who's going to be driving sales right away. Yes, obviously they wouldn't say no to that, and they're going to be continue scaling their campaigns on both native affiliate center as well as Incense, and that's all good. But they wouldn't expect that they're going to be doing the only organic and then it's going to be growing the business. Where they would expect is how to repurpose the content from this organic post, seeing what's actually performing, and spark them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The whole strategy is organic plus paid. That's all about what you need to know. It's paying enough for the influencers to be incentivized and produce great content.
Yeah.
Finding those influencers who are able to produce great UGC that you would be able to spark. Yeah. And then combining both, because sometimes it could be performing organically better than in paid. Sometimes it's paid is going to be performing. Sure. Yeah, the point is that in the end of the day, you need to build your cash flow, future cash flow from out of this and from this strategy. That was makes me surprised, because I was also believing that you need to focus primarily on organic. That is the beauty of TikTok Shop and so on. But it's not longer in the game. Yeah. The folks told me that like you need to combine. If you're not putting ad dollars behind of the whole game, well, you're going to be niche, but you're not going to be winning.
Somebody's going to have ad dollars.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I love that. So to get to like how best to go about this, because I think it's really important that we address that, is instead of just using the affiliate center, which is also basically just a TikTok only thing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, if you're doing short form content and not also leveraging Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, you're missing most of the game,
Yeah.
I think. Then it's one of the beauties, instead of just doing that, one of the beauties of Incense, and it's been great to see it grow, but is that you can search for the types of people.
Yeah.
And you're also, the Incense inbox isn't the TikTok inbox. And so people are specifically on the platform to make deals.
Yes.
And you're coming as somebody with a profile that's like, hey, look, we're legitimate, you're legitimate, let's do business together. We like you, we're also gonna like some other folks. And so it allows you to get past the gatekeeper a little bit because people are opting in, which is really, really important. And I experienced that too back in the day when we were first using it, and like 6 years ago, and it was beautiful because instead of having to go through we were so used to going through agencies.
Yeah.
And all the influencers had agents, and they all had shoppers, and we could go straight to the person. We could bypass. And what we found was all these influencers were sick and tired of their agents, or their agency taking 20, 30, 40, 50% of the cut.
Yeah.
And they just like throw something up and like, hey, look, we'll just pay you. And they're like, great, fantastic. And you guys took care of all the contracts and stuff. So you're in providing the infrastructure of that one-to-one connection where there's already trust built in, right?
Yeah.
It's so that's right there. It's a real person talking to a real person.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing that, it's not just to make a positive ROI on that piece of content. If you look at it with a specific strategy around trying to answer questions and having a creative strategy that is not just let me make money, but also let me understand who my market is, and know that the videos you get are great, but that's step one.
Yeah.
Because when you get the videos, you can use those on your website. You can use those also on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and Reels and YouTube. You can use them in your emails. You can grab screenshots. One of the things that we used to do is take what we used to call supercuts. But let me get 9, 12 people and throw them all together and just boom, 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 boom. It's a minute-long video of just everybody saying beautiful things. Yeah, mashup. And throw some product shot on top of it. So it's a mashup of all sorts of people and then just the product. And that was one of the best Black Friday strategies we ever had, was just mash up city.
Because you see different people are using that.
Yeah.
Not only some dude like that I love, but like it's different.
It's
people
everybody
are talking about the same problem from different perspectives.
Yeah, and there's this book that was written in 1885 called Successful Advertising, and like talks about one of the things is frequency of ads.
Yeah.
And by like the 15th, the 13th or 15th or 17th impression of an ad, people start to ask to their friends and family, like, hey, have you seen this? Well, one of the beauties of UGC and influencer and also mashups is it's not just you and your family, but you're kind of getting in, I follow this person and they said, well, there's a little bit of trust. Well, what about 20 of them? What about every single person in that niche? One of the beautiful things that we did back in the day at 310 Nutrition is we would hire a couple people off of every show of Real Housewives. So we get the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives in New York. So every 10 weeks, a new Real Housewives show would come on the air.
Yeah.
2 or 3 people on every show would have our product. So all year long. So if you watch Bravo, it wasn't one creator. It wasn't just Shannon Beador. It wasn't just Kyle Richards. It was 2 or 3 people on every one of them.
Yeah.
So it's legitimacy. Ubiquity equals legitimacy. So part of it is getting that ubiquity by being everywhere. And also you can do the market research.
Yeah.
And then you're leveraging that to not only make money today. I would look at the organic side as how much of the if we look at it as a content department in our company, how much of that cost can we offset by getting organic sales?
Yeah.
Can organic TikTok pay for the cost of acquiring that content?
Yeah.
Can it produce a little bit of a profit? If so, let me throw that into ads. And then all of the profit from the ads, I'm just going to take.
Yeah.
And now you're turning into like, well, we spent $1,000, we got 600 back. Awesome. So you only lost $400 and you got 20, 40, 70, 80, 100 pieces of content. Because let's say it's a 30-second long video. Well, that's probably, if you have a decent editor, 4 or 5 different videos. And you chop that up and it's images and it's carousels. And so I think when you come to it looking at it that way, it's while you can use it as a TikTok shop marketplace, let me buy people to sell for me, where you're basically hiring salespeople. I like to look at it as, let me use it as a content department in my company, where I'm also able to get immediate social feedback for socioeconomic and psychographic and gender and age group data for my business. And when you look at it that way, those are things that can cost you 10, 20, 50, $100,000 just to have some marketing firm go and tell you. But if I can make money doing it by just going straight to TikTok shops, and I also already have the ad built, then it's easy.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I loved what you guys were doing 6 years ago, because I didn't have to hire a department.
Exactly.
It was literally just me part-time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this. Okay, cool. I want to go, I want to get women 18 to 25. Let me go fire 20 of them. I want to get a man over the age of 35, this kind of affluent kid. Cool, got it. I want to get, somebody in middle America, this, and it was so easy to go in, and instead of having to sit in the app, sit in TikTok or sit in Instagram and DM hundreds of people, I could just go into the marketplace and make deals with 20 of them in a day. And then I know I'm getting all my content in. Maybe I get a couple revisions or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I've got all my organic side taken care of.
Yeah.
I've got all my ads set up. Plus, I might be able to make money just by these people posting it on their own. And now I'm going to spend the rest of my time doing other things in the business, like improving my conversion rate and my stickiness, my trial rollover, whatever it is.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Sometimes people are thinking that, why do we need to pay subscription fee or this and that? Well, you're buying your time to focus on what actually matters for your business. And actually matters where your business is taking a look, using Triple L or whatever software you're leveraging. Just seeing that what is the impact and where's the biggest lever for me in to find in the business next time and nail down there. Invest more money, finding the better agency there, finding some expertise, going and chatting with some of the folks who have experience there. This is the really important thing. But if you're trying to save a few $100, that will cost you thousands or even millions of dollars. Doesn't make sense. It does not. So I think the whole idea of agencies, you're buying the time with the expertise that you can also change quickly. You need to understand your product. You need to focus on your product, but also the overall marketing strategy. But then you can toast like different agencies. And some of the agencies are great for get you from 6 to 7 figures, but they might be not able to from 7 to 8 because this is the different game. This is the different setup of the agency. Same way like with the softwares, you find the ones that actually works for you right now. But this is something that I also trying to implement within my team, my WSOS, right? So this mentality of not spending money like on every single thing, but if you believe that it's going to be save me a few hours a month, this is a great signal for me to invest a few $100 to buy something, because I know that your mind is going to be focusing on the, let me give you an example, Q&A, right? So recently my head of engineering, he came to me and saying that, hey, we experienced some queue in our Q&A, our managers are not able to double check, or engineers need to write the test and so on. There are some AI-powered software right now that can provide some layer on that. It's going to be cost me a few $100, and I'm saying like, look, take a look on how many hours of your team you're spending, and like, what is your mental capacity you invest there. It seems like paying $400 or whatever. It makes sense. $400, like it's money, right? Every single month. But at the same time, having him less focused on this item and more focused on how to develop the team, how to make sure that the processes, how make the feeling that the team is happy. Just happy and enjoying the work.
And that matters. That matters. 100%. And like, I mean, even you're talking about teams, even if it's small. Like I was on a team of 2. Vice president of marketing and me to grow this business, right? We didn't have, like, I could have either hired 3 people, 2.5, basically for like $12,000 a month, or I could get the software.
Yeah.
For far less than that.
Yeah.
And the rest of that money went to buying content, right? Went to just hiring influencers and stuff and getting the UGC content.
Simple. Right?
And what would take me 3-4 hours a week replaced 2.5 full-time equivalent employees.
Yeah.
And things moved so much faster. We didn't have to get desks and insurance and payroll and all this other stuff. We were able to be like, this worked, this didn't, and just keep moving. And the last thing I'll say too is, when you're looking at the return, is not just, I mean, I think everybody should time block and know what your hours are worth. Like, I know in my company, when I work, it's worth this much money.
Yeah.
If I have to do it, it needs to earn this much money. And to be fair, when you hire people, a job is paying somebody less than the time is worth for you to do it, for them to do it for you, right? Anyway, my point to everything is, when you're looking to see the effectiveness of this, you know, we were talking earlier about like, which of those platforms do I like between the North Beams and the Triple Whale and the Ad Beacon and everybody else? And I said, well, I like the ones that show you the graphs all side by side.
Yeah.
When you invest all of that effort, let's say you put in 50 pieces of organic social into TikTok shops and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and stuff, what happens to the search volume? What happens to your sales volume on Amazon? You know, how many more email addresses did you get? And I think the marketers that can look at the entire business are the ones that are going to win.
Yeah.
And if I don't have to spend 20 hours a week inside my phone hitting the API limit on how many DMs I can send.
Yeah.
And instead I can say, well, when we launched this 18 to 25 women, our YouTube, our Google search tripled. When I went after men over the age of 35, our Amazon sales doubled. Like, well, now I know doing this thing organically, well, we lost $500 here, but we made 10,000 over here. Like, all of this, at the end of the day, all that matters is, did we make more money?
Yeah.
And you have the space to think about that and to look at that information. And I think that is the greatest gift you can give people, is the ability to do critical thinking.
Yeah.
And to give them their time.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, if I can buy time as well as business intelligence and content and all of these other things, then it becomes very difficult for me to not say yes to that expense. I think the only reason I would say no is because I'm trying to do that in 10 different places. I'm trying to do it with TikTok shops and Amazon and YouTube and SEO, and like, pick 2, pick 3. To be honest, every 8-figure business, every 7-figure business I've worked with has gotten to 8, focuses on doing 3 things.
Yes.
And they might be very different things, but maybe you get your organic content, you get your paid and your email. Awesome, you're good. Get your search, your Amazon, and your YouTube. Good. Get 3 things together. And usually it's the top, mid, and bottom funnel effort. That's what it ends up kind of being. Figure that out. And if organic content is going to be your top of funnel, you don't have to spend more than a couple hours a week. And you can let everybody else do it for you. And I think that's, I mean, my biggest thank you for what I've gotten from what Incense has provided me over the years, and what I recommend other people do when they're looking at getting into UGC and influencer, because it is so much more than this person posted with a code, we made 3 sales, that person didn't work.
Yeah.
That is such a low level way of looking at things.
Yeah.
And I would encourage everybody to start thinking about every investment they make in their business is so much more than what they got today.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I think I love your audience a lot, because you guys spending your time and investing this time on your education.
Yeah.
Because this is, again, the best winners is those people who are ready to invest in your education. You're paying money for someone to be coached, to learn something. This is like the best thing that you can make. It's investing in yourself, and not doing the operation stuff, or finding the ones who can deliver that for the less money.
Yeah.
Even though like you have to pay money. Yes,
Sure.
you have to pay money, but in return you will get some free time to educate yourself, to learn something, to nail down these 3 channels that is actually works for your business,
Yeah.
to see the holistic view on your business and finding the ways. Paid ads, owned, SEO, wherever like it works for your business, you crack it down and you nail down like until you are not hitting from 7 figures to 8 figures.
Yeah.
And once you're gonna be hit 8 figures, only more and more channel. Like,
yeah. Things get more complex as they need to.
Yeah, step by step.
Yeah. Like and we have a lot of friends that run 8-figure companies, and whether it's Sean with his Ridge or Ash and Ron, I hope that people, my one recommendation for folks is don't look to the 8-figure brand and try to copy what they do. There's just no way. Like, why don't you just be Nike? Go hire Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't afford it? Well then like that's just not where you're at.
Or you can afford, like imagine like this situation, you got some money, you one of these 5 folks who actually pitch nicely to VC, you got this money, you landed like 10 mil, let's say, and you say like, okay, let's push it hard, 5 mil, and we sign up not Michael Jordan, but like some
you get LeBron,
famous, some famous face, right? So like you close the deal. You have money to market this?
Yeah. What about fulfill?
Yeah. Fulfill, and then like there are like so many nuances. Just do not play the game. If you're talent, do not play in the Premier League right away.
Yeah.
Step like from one step, and then you will get there.
Yeah.
And probably you'll get that faster than anyone else if you're talent, if you're just ready to invest like a lot of time on your education and learning things faster, you will get there.
Yeah.
But do not copy paste that, because this is exactly what I've been hearing that again and again, that people are coming from the some of newsletters that we've been featured on, from the folks who are running bigger brands like 8 figures, like Ron and Ash, right? And they're saying, oh, we want to hire 100 influencers, and then we're going to be,
millionaires.
Millionaires right away. Well, it's not like obvious. It's not about only influencers. You would be surprised to learn that influencers the important part of the business, but not, I guess, not even 10% of their business.
I mean, they're in
because like email marketing, SMS marketing.
Yeah, they're in Walmart.
Community.
Walmart. Yeah, their community is huge.
It's just like it's so many like bricks that you need to build.
And they got good at one, then they moved to the next one. They got good at that, to move to the next one.
Exactly.
Because they had to.
Yeah.
And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. And so I'll say this: if you're an operator that has got a good product, and you can make a store that converts well, and you cannot sell for shit, maybe one of the best things you can do is hire 20 to 50 salespeople to just give you the sales pitch.
Yeah.
That's what Incense does.
Yeah.
Can you go make money with that? If you made $1 profit, awesome, go do it again. You know what I mean? Because eventually somebody will might buy a second.
Right.
Like that's all it is. And I think, I feel like people just need to look at it in that way of hire out for the things that you're not the best at.
Yeah.
And be fair, Skims probably isn't going to ever come to you, because Kim Kardashian can go on, TikTok and sell.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she doesn't need you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
But you would be surprised that we have Victoria Beckham beauty brand.
Yeah.
We have oh my gosh, I forgot like the name. Jason Wong.
Okay. Yeah.
Doe? Doe, but like he's helping right now. He's a consultant for one of the
I love Jason.
Jason is Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
So new Nicki Minaj brand is also on Incense because of Jason, right?
Yeah.
So we have some of the brands of celebrities back with their names, right? Even though like this coming to Incense, because in that case you can bring the scale. Obviously, can Skims or Nicki Minaj brand can scale without it? Obviously, yes, because like that's the name. It's so simple. They are legends, right?
But you could do more.
But you can do more, and you can go niche.
Yeah,
it's going to be really hard to go with Nicki Minaj niche because she's not going to be.
She's too big.
Yeah, she's not going to be selling and doing some funny stuff that is might be performing better in ads.
Yeah. Plus, she also has
Maybe.
the rest of Nicki Minaj to live.
Exactly.
Right. She's got records to sell
Yes.
and tours to go on and
What
life
is it
to
like
live.
1%, 5% of day time? I mean, for schemes, I guess like it's more than that, but still, that's kind
Yeah.
of like the stuff, right? So that's why it actually works even for celebrity brands because you can go niche, and in that case, this is exactly what you can do. It's just finding the ways that actually works for you. One scalable channel, then plug it in
And
like
just
a
keep
couple
doing
of
it.
more and keep doing.
I love it. And I think that's a great place to end this. It's just that, like, what I'm hearing from there is that it's a tool.
Yeah.
And I think the way that I've always looked at UGC and influencer, again, was it was always outsourcing content creation. At the end of the day, content is a way of getting attention.
Yeah.
And if you can outsource getting attention so that you can reach different types of people, that's great. Yeah. And you know, when I was on a team of 2 people with a 7-figure monthly profit target, I didn't want to hire 3 people because then I have to train them.
Yeah.
I don't have time. I can do all the work in a couple hours. And then we can just measure what happens to the rest of the business. And I think that for folks that are trying to make things work, it becomes a really, I think it's such a better way of trying to make ads. I think it's such a better way of trying to understand who your customers are. Because to your point, something that you said, and why I really want to end on this, is that those creators are real people.
Yeah.
They want to do good work.
Yeah.
Every one of them that I met, not everyone, the vast majority of them.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We're just folks that they're like, wow, somebody's going to pay me to do this. I want to do a good job. And the folks that were like legitimately invested in trying to do good work, they worked hard for you. And like, if anybody's ever hired folks, you know how hard it is to have people care. And these folks care. And I think that it's incredibly valuable to spend your money on people that are internally motivated to do good work for you.
And you would be surprised if you're going to be jumping on a call with them, talk it through the things that they are going to be ready to do something, sometimes even cheaper for the bundle deal.
Yeah.
Because they genuinely appreciate that you approach them as a human being.
Yeah.
And you're just nice.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with me. I'm talking to the creators myself from time to time. Jumping on the call, talking through like why you are using TikTok Shop on Incense, not like on there. Like what are the things? They're sharing this stuff, and you know, like they constantly featuring us in their Instagram stories, saying,
Yeah,
that's how I become a full-time creator because of Incense and one more company, right?
Yeah.
And this is the story that I would love to hear more and more, and being sure that we can drive that, because exactly to your point, they're a human being. Talk to them as a people,
Yeah.
and they will
yeah.
back you.
I remember the biggest things that we used to do was if somebody hit 3 times, we would just offer them a monthly fee.
Yeah. Simple.
And
right?
like, oh, I paid you $100 3 times. You know what? $500 a month.
Yeah.
You're on retainer.
Yes.
And so it's just like, there was a point where I was managing 100,000 a month. I would have like 20 to 50 people on like $1,000 a month retainer.
And they love it.
They love it.
Because they can, many of them that love their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And right now they're trying to build their life with that.
Yeah.
And having 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 deals that are going to be constantly paid, it's make them life easier because they know that they have some money to pay their bills and living their life.
Yeah.
Right?
And you get to know them and you have
exactly.
conversations and like, those are the best.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we could talk about it forever, but I hope that people got the idea of this is something that anybody can do. And also, if you're somebody that likes to make content, it's a way to go get paid.
Yeah.
And if you're not good at it, you won't get paid a lot. If you are good at it, you can actually make a lot of good money. But it's a really great way for folks that they've got everything else in line. And for me, the biggest success stories that I've seen is folks that just don't know how to make the content. They don't know how to talk to the customer. They've got good product. They're good people. And outsourcing that is the easiest win to making a ton of money. And I will say that I am terribly awkward in the DMs. I landed 0 deals, spamming 100 people. I bought the software of how to like message 100 people. Not a single deal.
Yeah.
And within a couple of hours, my first week, I had content deals coming in. Even my best effort didn't work.
Yeah.
And it was a cheat code. And for that, I want to say thank you. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude. Thanks. All right.